upstairs at 3 o'clock. So we found it. We found it. Look. Welcome back to another weekend in the D. Well, weekend in Metro Detroit, but very first, I have to say literally a huge thank you so much. I hit 10K, not only here on YouTube, but over on Instagram as well. And if you followed that journey, you know that race was close. I mean, Instagram had a huge head start when the journey started with 9,800-ish followers. And YouTube took the cake, came out as an underdog winner to go ahead and surpass Instagram to hit 10K first. But literally, as of this morning, I'm also at 10K on Instagram. So thank you so much. If you happen to be new here, I am Jordan Blackwell, former materials engineer turned lifestyle content creator behind Little Miss JB Style, sharing with you life's possibilities through style. And I'm so excited to take you along with me this weekend. It's going to be a really fun vlog. Doing a Q&A, you guys asked some really great questions that I'm so excited to dive into. So today, because I love a good solo date and a good coffee shop date, I'm going to check out a new place in downtown Detroit called Alba-Detroit that I'm so excited to take you with me to grab a morning cup of coffee and work from the coffee shop. That is just one of my favorite places that really makes me feel energized, and I also meet so many amazing people when I go to the coffee shop, so it's great for networking, especially for what I do now. Not gonna do anything crazy tonight because the snow has absolutely put a damper in my plans, but Saturday, Ashley Homestore invited me to their store opening in Sterling Heights. I'm so excited. I have partnered with them in the past and they have some amazing pieces, so I'm excited to show you what a store opening in the Detroit area looks like. Plus, it is Tech Saturdays in Detroit as well, and this one is going to be a women's takeover for Women's Month, so I'm very excited because I've been trying to make it to the Black Tech Saturdays for a while now. However, just with editing and things like that, because I edit my own videos, usually that kind of takes up most of my Saturdays, so I can make sure I get my videos up for you on Sunday. And speaking of Sunday, I will also be headed to brunch and a movie. So a mix of a busy but chill kind of weekend for me here in the Metro Detroit area. But as always, let's back it up a little bit to this morning. I thought it would be fun to kick off our Q&A with some rapid fire answers to some of the questions I have been asked. So the first question is, what is my favorite food? That's easy. I have a crazy sweet tooth and my favorite food will always be chocolate chip cookies. Next question, Jordan, what is your favorite color? My favorite color, it's actually really hard to guess because I never wear it, but that is purple, just like royalty, regal. It has always been my favorite color. This next question is so fun. Do you have a hidden talent or skill? My friend swears I'm like the Swiss Army knife. She's always surprised by the little things that I know how to do. One skill that a lot of people don't know that I have is that actually I can barrel race horses. It was something that I got to do as a kid that was so fun. While I have many hidden talents and skills, that's the one I'm gonna go with for today. Someone asked about my brother and they are wondering if he is older or younger than me. My brother is 1 year older than me, so he will be turning 34 in June. Dear Lord, I cannot believe I'm saying that. And I'm a year behind him, born in 91 and he was born in 1990. Someone asked about my dog, Annaboo. They said, your dog is so precious. Would you consider more pets in the future? So the truth is, Anna's very much an only child kind of dog. And while I have loved my experience in the last 10 years with her, I would definitely need a break between her and my next pet. It's not that I don't see pets in my future, but definitely kind of juggling trying to do everything while having a dog has been a little bit difficult. Then the last question for this rapid fire round, the question is, are you going to make Michigan your permanent home or do you see yourself living in another state? I have always wanted to at least live abroad for 1 year. I haven't picked a location. I love Spain, but after visiting Bali last year, I absolutely could see myself there for a year as well. I have fallen in love with Detroit. I talk about this so often, and it has really grown on me that I maybe could see this being my forever home, but I definitely do want to live a couple other places first. Here's my look to go to Alba-Detroit. I do not have the shoes on because I had to wear my boots because, like I said, it is snowing outside. It is not ideal weather, so I'm just trying to make the best of it. Honestly, I want to be cute. I want to be cozy, so I have this H&M turtleneck that you have seen. I feel like whenever I'm just in comfort mode, I try to avoid black by wearing brown. That's literally why you see me in brown so much, especially in the winter season, because I want to wear something different. And I feel like everyone always reaches for black. Then I am pairing it with these amazing pants from ASOS. I have had these. I just found a really old picture. I have had these for over like 5 years now. And I love the adjustable belt buckle because, of course, obviously as I put on some weight or lose some weight, I can make sure that these sit exactly how they need to sit, cinching in and really showing off my figure. Then I have the teddy jacket. I love this from ASOS. So cozy, so warm. Adding that additional texture, you know I love to lean on to make my outfits look really, really fun. The earrings, I get asked about these all the time. These are from Forever 21. Whenever I am in doubt and want really fun, bold, and expensive jewelry, Forever 21 gets me every single time. The rings you already know, Biella Vintage and Vanessa Mooney. Then Biella Vintage and also Biella Vintage. Then for the shoes, I'm going to put on the Forever 21 boots. Again, it's forced. I will not lie. I don't know. I struggle when it comes to boots in the same way that I struggle when it comes to like flat shoes. It's like they are a necessity. I know I need them, but it takes me so long to find a pair that I just don't actually hate. And if it wasn't snowing the way that it's snowing, I would actually go with these heels from ASOS. However, just with the snow, it doesn't make sense, and I will choose function over fashion. And I don't think that that's talked about enough, is just how often like a lot of the girls like, oh, I just wear whatever, but they don't have to deal with the same weather conditions that we have to in the Midwest. So of course, a little bit of cold is different than dealing with the fact that it is snowing and it's already gotten 4 inches. Because babes, unless it's like a special occasion, for the everyday, not finna die in these heels for the sake of looking cute, I'm gonna be functional and put on the boots. So let's go check out Alba-Detroit. It is dinner time at Chez JB. We have had a day. I want something simple. I usually just crave like a good sandwich at this point, especially when I don't have the mental capacity to do anything. But I know I need something healthy, so I figured I would show you my Mediterranean-inspired bagel sandwich, plus answer another question, and this was from Adrian. Hopefully I'm saying that name right. And I was asked what made me become an influencer content creator. So the truth is, I always planned to be a content creator. I always planned to share and help people. That has always been my goal, but I never actually planned to be like an influencer or, you know, big, popular, famous, none of that. All right, hold on, I need some scissors. But when I started this literally 10 years ago in March, actually, the same exact day I hit 10K on my YouTube channel, that was the day I was like, I really just wanted to help people out, right? When I first made my YouTube channel, you can go back and see my original video. It really was just about adjusting to adulthood and all the things I felt like no one taught me, and really wanted to kind of share what I learned along the way. And the truth is, I saw somebody say something very, very similar over on TikTok. And the truth is, influencing for a lot of us is just the result of consistently creating content over time. And that has just been the best way to describe, I would say, a lot of women's rise to being influencers and being kind of famous and being big, was just wanting to do something kind of outside yourself and help people out. Like, I think of a lot of the OGs, right? I'm thinking like Monroe Steele, and even before then, right? Like Sincerely Jules and Happily Grey, right? A lot of the bigger girlies back in the day, they just started Wendy's Lookbook, started sharing outfit inspiration and what they wore to like the jobs that they were going to help inspire other women who wanted to dress maybe a little bit more fashion forward, but didn't really know how, or were like afraid to dress like that, especially depending where you lived in your 9 to 5. Growing up, I was in a small town of Wisconsin. This is not news. And even college, I went to Purdue, so obviously again in the Midwest, and y'all know Midwest is just not really known for being fashion forward. And then moving from what am I trying to say, y'all? Then moving from Indiana and coming to Michigan, right? Again, to another Midwestern state, it just started as me going through that process and really sharing my journey and wanting to help other girls at the time who were making that transition. And over time, I got so many compliments on just like what I was wearing, my style, and a lot of people seemed really surprised to find out that I was an engineer and not, in fact, in marketing and advertising or even in fashion in some kind of way. And that's really when I started to dive more into the fashion and the style and things like that and start to share more from that perspective, what I was looking at, what I was eyeing up, especially because that was brand new to me also, right? Like I didn't have access in my small town to a bunch of stores. I didn't even have a Forever 21 or anything like that. So I was learning as well, like what I felt looked good on me, what I thought worked for my body shape, and also just figuring out what my style was personally, and also how to translate my style because you see my style, it's definitely more fun, definitely more on trend. And how that translates into the workplace, sometimes it can really be difficult to figure out how to make that work, right? So, and the truth is, it's that goal of just like wanting to help people. I truly just always ask everybody, I am a fixer. I just want to help you. If I can give you the tea, if I can put you on, if I can help you get there, that sense of fulfillment for me is unmatched. And so that truly is what has kept me so consistent and kept me going all these years. Because babes, if I was doing this for the clout, for the fame, for the money, I would have given up years ago, right? Like I said, I've been doing this 10 years now. That's so crazy. That's such a crazy realization that I keep having, is that I have been working at this so hard for 10 years, learning and growing and finding just the best ways to share and how I like to create content. And that's the other thing that I actually was surprised about too, is that I fell in love with the creation of it. I loved learning how to take my own photos and capturing some of these amazing photos of my outfits, like when I travel and things like that. That too has really given me so much joy as well. So to be able to also make money off of that, doing similar things for brands, right? Not everything I do is a brand collaboration or a brand deal that goes on my page. With user generated content getting bigger and bigger and bigger, it's given me so much more opportunity to explore those kinds of things and really feed that playful side that I have found truly for most creators, right? Like a lot of the really, really big girlies now, it is kind of a little bit generic. It is kind of a little bit bland, and there's nothing wrong with that, but that's just because that's mass appeal and that's what appeals to the masses. But when I get to do some of that UGC work, I really get to just play with different concepts, really kind of see what lands, not just for me, but for brands, and just really have a lot of fun. So truly, this was never like the goal. I am always astounded by all the amazing opportunities working with Adidas, working with Macy's, working with YouTube and the NFL. Like, none of this was on my vision board. I think so many people, it's like, oh, you gotta have a clear vision, and if you don't write it down, it won't become a reality. But sometimes you limit yourself by only having one picture of what could be, right? And it's not bad to have obviously a vision board and things like that. You need to be able to see yourself doing these things, and that's so important. But I also never limited myself to think it was only going to look like this or it could only be that. And I have found that has allowed me way more opportunities, especially being a smaller creator, right? Not a lot of creators my size can say they've worked with the brands that I've worked with, because I've worked with I was just doing the math the other day, like probably 60 different brands, and I am just now hitting 10K, you know what I mean? And so many people feel like you've got to have that 20, that 30, that 40, that 50K, 100K, a million followers to be making money, and you really don't. And when you're really enjoying the journey and being playful and being curious and then being consistent in that as well, and in your journey. And this is the fit. I have been obsessing over this Ankvas. I am probably saying that wrong, but this denim jacket, you saw it in my denim trends video. Going with something very, very simple because still snow on the ground, but want to be cute. So the top shop leggings with the ASOS booties. Then for accessories, I have the Forever 21 earrings again. I just put on one ring. I feel like I'm not trying to do too much. I might stop home before I go to the Black Tech Saturdays and put on something different. Finishing up with this Freshie, is it Freshie? This Being Fresh Soothing Comfort Cashmere Vanilla. It smells so delicious. It's such a great, just like every day. I've been deep into fragrance oils instead of perfumes because I just feel like they last longer. So this is the fit to go ahead and check out the Ashley Homestore opening in Sterling Heights. Let's go. Thank you. Let's be in action. There it is. I know. No, I love it. You can, and I appreciate that. I'm not sure. I asked him.
There's at 3 o'clock. So our ladies, you can follow them up. They have their time.
Woo!
With our friend Dorothy Smith. Some continues to be short and cold. I in turn am short and cold. And now that expectation that I had of them, they actually fulfilled it because I thought they were going to do it and they did it.
I just got back from Black Tech Saturdays. It was such an amazing experience. Honestly, the whole day was so great. As you saw, Ashley Homestore had a lot of amazing new pieces. The free lattes, the free churros, I definitely was having maximum enjoyment. And as you saw for Black Tech Saturday, Elena of Fashion Lane joined me as well. And so I didn't realize how big, I mean, I knew Black Tech Saturdays here has gotten huge. It's so amazing if you are in the Metro Detroit area for networking, but this event specifically, they had so many different breakout workshops. It was really, really hard to choose from, but we ended up, because we both were kind of just needing a bit of a pep talk, I feel like, we went to the networking and mental health workshop, which was so well run, filled with so many gems, so many takeaways. I will say though, as you've seen, it has been quite a day already, so I need a power nap. I do still need to finalize editing my video. It's really easy. I have some B-roll. I just want to add just some closer up of the products I got. And then I think that me and Elena might pop out too. There are two really good parties today. House Party and Black Gold are having a joint party. And then Donovan Glover also is having, he does a really good job too, a party as well. So she's feeling like she wants to get out, shake a little something, something. I am always in the mood. Well, not always, but 99% of the time, I'm definitely in the mood to shake a little something, something. Especially because I did make it to Target. Today is the drop of the collab with Target and Diane von Furstenberg. And I got to snag this workout set. It sold out online so quick, and they dropped at 3 a.m. And I don't know. I really hope one day to stand over something that much that I'm going to get up in the middle of the night to be one of the first people to buy it. But I was really lucky. One of the stores in Sterling Heights happened to have the whole collection in every size. So I have this amazing new workout set to add to my collection that's going to be so much fun. So let me keep being hydrated. This is hibiscus tea. I love a good hibiscus tea. I like more sweeter teas. So I have hibiscus with just a little bit of honey to really hydrate. Like I said, I'm going to power nap it real quick because it's about 4-ish right now. Probably wake up around 7, finish editing, have some dinner. Either way, I'm going to give you a little bit of a glimpse into my Saturday evening. And Sunday, I'm really excited. I met up with my friend Shayna, who also was at Black Tech Saturdays. She's the one who has put me on. And her and I are going to check out Social in Birmingham tomorrow, plus go and see a movie. So I'm very, very excited because usually my Sundays are very chill, very dolo, very solo. So I'm really excited because this actually unexpectedly turned out to be a weekend really filled with seeing my friends. And I just love when that happens unexpectedly because I don't know about y'all, but I really am tired of having to give people 3 to 5 business weeks to hang out. And I do miss the spontaneous hangs. Hey, let's just go get into something. We don't got to spend money. We can just hang out, whether that's watching some movies on the couch, going to check out a cool networking event like Black Tech Saturdays. There's just a lot of stuff to do. And I really love that I'm actually being able to see most of my friends this weekend on some super spontaneousness. Let me get this power nap because the tiredness just hit me and get into the rest of Saturday.
waking up.
Anywhere you go, you belong. Anywhere you say, anywhere.
It is Sunday morning. I am getting ready for brunch with my girl, so I'm answering another question. And this is going to be a two-part question because I was asked by Rain, hopefully I'm saying that right, about my relationship with my mom. And then Adrian wanted to know about my thoughts on the soft girl era and dating. And they're all very intertwined, so I figured we would do this as a two-part combo pack. Like most girls, I feel like my relationship with my mom is mixed. Growing up, she was very much my mom, right? We were not friends, but I understand why, because she had to hustle, so she ended up being the main breadwinner for my family in middle school. I want to say that's when my father got laid off from his job. He used to do insurance adjustment claims and was a manager, and American Family Insurance ended up laying him off. And so my mom at that point, with my older brother and I, turned into the main breadwinner, and she was working at, was she working at the technical college at the time? So I know when we first moved to Wausau, she was working for one school that was out in Mosinee, and then eventually got her position at the technical college she works at now. And the reason I always speak so highly of her isn't just because of me. This was also my dad. My dad, anytime it was like, it is your mother's birthday, your mom asked for this house to be clean, like, my mom was definitely the priority in my house, you know what I mean? Like, and my dad very much made sure that, you know, we did what we could to not make her feel. We did what we could so she wouldn't be even more stressed out, to try and make her life easy. And because she was just dealing with so much, right? Just dealing with the finances, wanting to give us the best life, wanting to give us all the opportunities that we could. But I used to butt heads with her, not as much as my brother, but a lot, because it just felt like what I watched my brother be able to do and get away with was absolutely not the same thing that I could do and get away with. And that always used to frustrate me so much, because it was like he could stay out till all hours of the night, and if I did not call my parents back within like 5 minutes of getting to a friend's house, I had to come back home, you know. And they were very, very strict with me in that way. And so it just always was this like huge amount of respect. My dad always made sure like we understood everything that she was going through and everything that she was doing and sacrificed for us to have the life that we had, because we weren't rich, but we definitely weren't without, right? You know, the bills were always paid. There was food in the fridge. You know, I was able to play on traveling soccer teams. We went on some kind of family trip, even if it was like a road trip, like once a year. She saved up to take us all to Paris, Switzerland, and Italy, like all in one trip for high school. She did a lot. She did a lot. And even as an adult, because she works at a technical college, she volunteered to take out a lot of the student loans that me and my brother had, because she got student loan forgiveness, which we just officially paid off. It's been a really joyous couple of days, because that for her, I know, was such a huge financial stress, was literally over $200,000 in student loan debts between my brother and I. But because we were able to make the minimum payments for the last 10 years, we officially got a lot of that forgiven. I don't even think we scratched the surface on that. And it's not just that, like, she's so goofy, and I love her, just like still childlike wonder in her 50s, the way that she just like gets giddy over things and gets excited over things, you know. I love that quality about my mom. However, she also, because she was so strict, and I understand because of the way she was raised. And the funny part is, it's not the way that my grandmother raised her as much as my grandfather. Because going into the conversation about the soft life and dating and all of that, the truth is, I'm not surprised why dating is the way that it is, watching how my brother was raised compared to how I was raised. On top of that, I had a really big realization like a couple of days ago talking to my mom just about her parents and how she was raised, because I really appreciate both of my parents are very introspective and retrospective, and so they can take a good hard look at themselves and try and grow. Um, my grandfather was actually really, really harsh on my mother. It was my grandfather who really, really told my mom, like, you need to not be financially reliant on a man. You need to have your own. You need to be out here finding a man who's going to level you up, and finding a man and be with a man who's going to do all of those things for you and really be a provider, right? And even thinking about my own dad. He was the one who really instilled that a lot more than my mom. My mom was very much like, find somebody you love, find somebody who treats you right. But my dad was like, do not settle for no bum, do not settle for no dude that has no ambition, that has no plan, that has no vision, that isn't evenly yoked. My dad loves that term, evenly yoked. And because of the way my mom was raised by my grandfather, she was not a very soft girl. Okay, and this quote, I've never known a relaxed woman. I've always known, as you can read the rest. That rings so true when I think about my mother. And that is why I have mixed feelings about the soft girl era. Because while I was always stressed that I looked good and like my looks were important, it was not the most important thing. It was always get an education, make sure that you have money, make sure that you are well off and you are able to live the life that you want to live, not a life that was kind of chosen for you based off of some poor decisions, right? That was very much my parents' mentality as they were raising me, especially like my mom. And so this also piggybacks into another question coming into like my girliness, because I was raised as a tomboy. I just always thought being soft, being girly was bad, was weak, and that people would roll over me if they thought that I was very soft and feminine and was into girly things. So it was never that I wasn't into them, but I always battled with how to express that, because it was just always seen as like girls are weak and liking girly things. We've all seen how just girl hobbies and girl things get demolished by men, right? And because I really admire the men in my life, I really do admire my grandfather and everything he's done for my father, who's been so helpful, especially now being an entrepreneur, because he's run his own business and is now like the head of marketing with like a $50,000 budget a month for another company. You know, my brother, I've always just loved his goofy like spirit. Like, that is my twin. Like, when you see me and my brother together, we are twins. If you watch other vlogs, you've seen us together. And so listening to even like the men in my life talk, you know, it was never like they really wanted super soft girly girls, and that was just never really a thing for me. And so watching the soft life era kind of evolve, it came from a really good place. However, I do have mixed thoughts on it, and here's why. I absolutely agree that like we deserve the soft life and we need to rethink what all of that really means. The hard part is I'm seeing a lot of women use soft life kind of as an excuse to not have to do better for themselves, right? Like, the way I'm seeing a lot of soft life play out is that spend more money on services, luxury, any slightest inconvenience you need to balance. While that isn't entirely a bad thing, the truth is a lot of this like, let me hide from feelings, let me hide from life, in the vein of I'm in my soft girl era, I shouldn't have to deal with inconvenience, I shouldn't have to deal with these things. You're gonna deal with inconvenience and failure and hardships, especially on the road to the life you're trying to get to. If you're trying to do this entrepreneur thing, even if you're trying to rise up in your career. And so being like, well, I'm in my soft life era and I just don't deserve to go through these things. Depending on the situation, and I want to be very clear on this, depending on the situation is not the right train of thought, right? Like Dell removing remote workers, even though they literally sell laptops, all of these companies trying to backtrack so hard on remote work. That's not what I mean. What I do mean though is participating in the soft life at the expense of your long-term goals, right? If you truly want to be financially free, you may not be able to soft life the way other girls can soft life, and that's okay. I think that for me, the hard part is I hate when movements are just so minimized to one thing. Like, soft life can only look like this, soft life can only be this. You're wearing makeup, you're getting the lattes, you're getting the treatments, you're getting flown out, right? Because for all the girlies who can't participate in that way, we end up finding other ways to like spend our money to try and get close, and we just waste our money and we don't have boundaries, and then we put ourselves in this hole. I'm seeing this happen to a lot of my friends where they're keeping up with the Joneses, trying to live this soft life with just finances that they don't have, and also passing up on like decent people, friendships, and relationships because someone said just one thing that threw them off, and it just rubbed them wrong. I love meeting people. I love my views being challenged. While I'm never gonna like completely agree with things that are absolutely opposed to my views, I don't just go, "Ooh, you said that one thing I like." It's never been that, and I think unfortunately, soft life, I've just seen it kind of make this stuff worse. Whereas we already kind of struggle to have this understanding or be having like conversations, and now people are even more so like, "Oh, well, they looked at me funny, so we're done," or just a lot more maybe. I'm seeing a lot more projecting too. So while I love the concept, I do think that women need to find, because I'm terrible at relaxing, right? Like putting on my makeup, getting my nails done, things like that for me don't feel relaxing, you know, and I've really struggled to find what makes me feel relaxed and what makes me feel soft. So all that, you know, my grandfather kind of just raising my mom to be more on the tougher side, and my mom just never really being into makeup or any of those kind of like traditionally girly things. Like she really didn't develop a skincare routine and a makeup routine until her like 50s. And then having my dad, you know, very much encouraging me to find somebody evenly yoked, but also very much kind of, I didn't raise you to just like be after money and things like that. So all that has of course impacted like dating and how I've approached dating and men. And obviously this is just where I'm at now. The biggest enemy to me is closed-mindedness, not changing, letting fear kind of dictate my life, you know. And so this is just where I'm at now. These opinions and things might change, but I'm not opposed to the soft life era. I just think that it's definitely going to look different for everybody, and it can be a dangerous game to continue bad habits and not grow and really get to where you want to get to. And that's just where I've seen a lot of people kind of abuse the soft girl era, and with that going into like dating and things like that. So I am single, I do date, but because I'm not happily in a relationship, I'm not happily married, I don't like to give dating advice, because I feel as though those are the people that we should be getting advice from, the people whose marriages that we admire, that we stand after, who have relationships that we want. Those are the people I'm looking for when it comes to dating. I'm not out here watching these single girls talking about little trickle, red nail theory, none of that. Because a lot of dating advice is just too generalized. And I know myself, I hate being generalized. I hate being typecasted, stereotyped. I hate when people are like so surprised, like, you're really nice for being light skinned. Like, I did not grow up where you grew up, where light-skinned girls were coveted the way that they were where you grew up. So I had to develop personality and be funny, and I like being friendly, and I love getting to know people and meet people, you know. And so I know I hate when people do that to me, so I don't like to do that going into dating either. I like to meet people where they're at, and that has just made a lot of my relationships a lot easier, friendships and like dating, things like that, just accepting where people are at and knowing what I want, and just moving in a way that continues to align and attract what I want in my life. So I still need to get my nails on. As you can see, they popped off and I ran to Ulta yesterday. So I'm gonna finish that up, and then I'm gonna take you with me to get brunch at Social.
We found her, look, found her queen. Yeah. The innocence of kids.
Yeah, but I think like overall.
In case y'all ever are worried about it, I'm definitely the friend to not take you on a diet, because I'm like, get it. Yeah. So you get straight one flavor, we don't mix it?
No, I definitely do.
That's a G. Look, what y'all know about that? What are the flavors y'all be mixing? I want to know. Comment below.